All right, shalom. Shalom, shalom. I'm going to give all honor, praise, and glory to Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shah, Wahakadash Shukah. Double honors to the apostles at the great millstone, the apostles and the elders at the great millstone. Double honors to you, or peace and blessings to you, brothers that teach this truth across the four corners of the earth where we have been scattered to due to the breaching of the covenant made by a deal made by our forefathers with the Most High, who people call God. And to the rest of you believers out there, you women and children, men of the prophet, friends of the prophets, women and children, and friends of the prophets of the so-called Hispanics, Negroes, and Native American Indians, which actually are of the Israelite nation, to you I say peace and blessings as well. And to any newcomers out there, yes, we proclaim ourselves to be the biblical Israelites. So this is going into pretty much something that was said, a comment that's, it's nothing wrong with, but just pretty much the comment pretty much said, she appeared to be an Israelite, but it pretty much said, this individual believed God, the so-called white man, or the white man created the devil in his own image. Now, with that being said, we're going to go ahead and get this first scripture. This is 2 Timothy 2:24. The servant of the Lord must not strive, but be gentle unto all men, apt to teach, patient, in meekness, instructing those that oppose themselves. If God or the Most High, if Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shah peradventure will give them repentance to acknowledging of the truth, and that they may recover themselves. So before I even hit that next point, there's only one truth, all right? And that they may recover themselves out of the snare of the devil, who are taken captive by him at his will. Because the Lord is over everything. But we're going to go ahead and go into it. It's only one truth. We're going to just, and I can see what you're saying, but we're going to pretty much, this was good because this allows the opportunity to put clarity out here, just to edify. So let's go into it. So when you go into the word devil, it's just a word. It's used all across the world that we know, throughout the different states of America, if you will, as we know. But it's simply a word with a meaning. All right. But anyway, devil. It says a devil, a subordinate evil spirit afflicting humans. Also in Christian theology, the devil, a powerful spirit of evil, otherwise known as Satan. So when you saying, according to this, because that's why we simultaneously call the so-called white man the devil and Satan. You see, but it says, because it's not the point yet. It says from late Latin, diabolos, or diabolos, diabolus. It says, and then in Spanish, because in Greek is where is it at? In Greek, it's the same word. It's diabolos in Greek. So they saying in Latin it's diabolus, and in Spanish is diablo. Now let's jump down to the point. The late Latin word is from the ecclesiastical Greek, diabolos, which in Jewish, no such thing, we the Jews, so-called blacks, right? Negroes. We're the Jews. Okay. It says, which in Jewish and in Christian use was the devil, Satan. So they're pretty much saying what so-called Christians, churchgoers, and people really that understand the Bible in the typical modern way. When they use the word devil, Satan, in actuality, they're referring to a Greek term in which brought forth the words they say, which being devil and Satan, which is actually diabolos. That's what they're saying, and it means, it says in which in general use meant accuser, slanderer. We're gonna stop right there. So when you call somebody a devil, you're saying they're an accuser, that they are an slanderer, and that's pretty much it, man. Now, with that being said, watch this, because it's important to notice, like the Most High, just to go ahead and nip this in the bud too. The Most High, He's not gonna have his whole creations walking down here, especially you so-called blacks, Negroes, so-called, you Israelites, you so-called Hispanics, you so-called Native American Indians, so-called, right? Being the best thing walking once given a chance and put in the right light, but not have you with true knowledge of things that actually refer to what we believe to be His true word, which is this holy Bible, these holy scriptures, including the Old Testament, Apocrypha, and New Testament. So if you subscribe to this, at the end of this, I'm going to show you this in the scriptures as well, right? We're going to bring the edification out in the scriptures as well, according to God. So according to the so-called white man's own meaning, which I shouldn't say, because it's believed that so-called white man created the devil in his own image, and I really specifically don't know what you mean specifically by that, but nonetheless, that's why we bringing this out, to just make it clear for everybody, for all you Israelites out there, what devil is, man, what the devil is, and how we know the so-called white man is the devil according to what it means, right? And according to God, ultimately. So accuser, a person who claims that someone has committed an offense or done something wrong, right? Now let's jump back real quick. And then I'm going to show you in the instance. That should make you, who does that? That should make you think automatically, who does that? But let's get this. Now look at that. Who's sitting, who's right? What nationality is depicted right there? You see? It's just like if I type in nigga, who you think gonna probably come up? You see? Slanderer. One, see, that's spiritual, the Lord did that. It says slanderer, one who attacks the reputation of another by slander, libel, backbiter, defamer, libeler, maligner, traducer, vilifier, depreciator, detractor, disparager, knocker, one who disparages or belittles the worth of something. And that's what they did. So, and you see that on this who you see sitting right here, man. The so-called white people do that. Now, starting with the so-called white man, he attacks the reputation of another by slander. He defames people. And how does he do this? By his news, his articles, all our celebrities, all our athletes. He depreciates us in value, from our men to our women. even to our kids. Of all you so-called Hispanics, Negroes, and so-called Latinos, that's what the so-called white nation does, man. The Edomites. And we're going to see. So it's not a coincidence that this was put. This is the picture next to slanderer. And you're going to see at the end of this, Lord willing, that this is all lines up with what God says. And it's going to show you who God, according to the Bible, says, the Most High, Yahweh, said who he says the accuser, the slanderer is. The devil. You see? Now, when you go back to that word accuser, right? Accuser. It said a person who claims that someone has committed an offense or done something wrong. You remember this? See that? Recording reveals Permit Patty. Notice what nation she is. You see? Did call police on girls selling water. The woman who threatened to call police on an African American girl. See, we're going to cut that too. More deception. Selling water on a San Francisco sidewalk. Look, white woman. No such thing as a white woman. Her skin, look, she has an undershirt on underneath that blue shirt. Which one's white? Her skin or the shirt? Rest my case, we'll just keep going. It says, white woman, nickname, and this is the Edomite, man. I'm going to just tell you straight, according to the scriptures. These the red people, man, who God hates for a reason, because they're the devil. It says, white woman, nickname, Permit Patty, regrets confrontation over black girl. You see? The little girl's like 8 years old or something. You know, so this is a woman named Permit Patty, man. She called the police and basically in the action of what we just read, see, she was 8 years old. Come on, man. See that? And there's more. We can keep going. But let's go back real quick. Accuser. A person claims that someone has committed an offense or done something wrong. Now watch this. So white people, so-called white people, do that 24/7, right? Well, watch this. Did you know that's in the Bible? You see? This is Isaiah 29:11. It says, you know what? I'm going to start at 19. You know what? I'm going to start at 18. And in that day shall the deaf hear the words of the book. What book? The Holy Bible. This book, man. KJV. Apocrypha included. And the eyes of the blind shall see out of obscurity and out of darkness, because everyone's dark. Everyone is not enlightened on what the truth is on this earth, man. You see, in this world, it says, like the devil, like what the devil means, and the so-called white man is responsible for our people and us not knowing what devil truly means according to God and truth. You see, because everything we went to outside of this is just gonna. The Bible actually validates everything of truth outside of it. Because if it doesn't line up with what the scriptures say, it's not truth. And you're going to see that. But anyway, the meek also shall increase their joy in the Lord, Yahweh. And the poor among men shall rejoice in the Holy One of Israel. For the terrible one is brought to naught, and the scorner is consumed, and all that watch for iniquity are cut off. But let's keep going. Who is the terrible? So the next verse is going to tell us who the terrible one is, who the scorner is, who are the people that watch for iniquity. It say, let me read it one more time. Isaiah 29:20. For the terrible one is brought to naught, and the scorner is consumed, and all that watch for iniquity are cut off. So-called white man sitting at the police ducked off in the corner to see if you hit your signal last minute. If you hit the right signal, or you got over in the left lane, but you hit the right one and then you hit the left one. So I have to give you stuff like that, man. You see? That make a man an offender for a word. You see? That's who the terrible one is. This verse tells us who the terrible one is, who the scorner is, and who are those that watch for iniquity. Permanent Patty. For the terrible one is brought to naught, and the scorner is consumed, and all that watch for iniquity are cut off. That make a man an offender for a word. See that? And lay a snare. It means trap. When you go into the meaning of that word right there, you can download this app, Blue Letter Bible, and you click on all the words. You see? And when you look up snare, it means trap. The word right there is kawash in the Hebrew. You see? To lay bait, lure. It's a snap. It's a trap, man. You see? To set a trap. Strong's definition. All right, let's go back. Okay, so it say that make a man an offender. You did something wrong. The offense, you see, that make a man an offender for a word that and lay a snare for him that reproveth in the gate, and turn aside the just for a thing of naught. You see that? And who do you see that those actions done by? You see, accuser, a person who claims that someone has committed an offense or done something wrong. That's what an accuser is. So someone that's an accuser is a devil. Because to be a devil, it means to be an accuser or a slanderer. And the word accuser means accuser means a person who claims that someone has committed an offense or done something wrong. Now that's right here in the Bible. It says, for the terrible one is brought to naught, and the scorner is consumed, and all that watch for iniquity are cut off, that make a man an offender for a word. See that? And lay a snare for him that reproveth in the gate, and turn aside the just for a thing of naught. Now, since we going there, right? The Bible tell us this. If you believe in Yahweh Shai, right? Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, the Messiah, right? Who people call Jesus. This is what he says. He says, and we know he speaks the word of the Lord. Matthew 7 and let's start here at 16. It says, Matthew 7 and 16, ye shall know them by their fruits. Do men gather grapes of thorns or figs of thistles? Those are sharp, hurtful, pretty much objects, if you will. It says, even so, every good tree bringeth forth good fruit, but a corrupt tree bringeth forth evil fruit. Right? The results of who you are, that's what you bring forth. What you bring forth is who you are. So if a tree bring forth apples, it's an apple tree. If a tree bring forth grapes, it's a grape tree, right? Orange tree, etc. A good tree cannot bring forth evil fruit, neither can a corrupt tree bring forth good fruit. Every tree, let's jump down. 20. Wherefore, by their fruits ye shall know them. You see? What is the devil? A person who claims that someone has committed an offense or done something wrong. Well, she's a devil. What we just went over. See that? So Isaiah 29:18. And in that day shall the deaf hear the words of the book, and the eyes of the blind shall see out of obscurity and out of darkness. Because this word is light. But when you don't have it, you're trying to, basically you're surrounded by darkness. So now with us going into this is lit up. Bright, this word going into your mind and have you think is lightening everything up, and you can see. You putting a flashlight on all the lies right now. You see, it say the meek also shall. Okay, let's stop right there. Okay, so the people that making a man an offender for a word, who does that, man? The so-called white man does that. These people make fun of us for going out teaching the Bible and saying we're wrong and all this, and we just bring out the word. That's all we do. But this is, don't you know this is written to become a crime? All this hate speech crap, that's not what the Lord hates, man. We read the Bible. But yet here it is, these people killing everybody, and they letting themselves off. They tell you that right here. Just to hit a point real quick. This is Zechariah 11. And I'm going to start at 4. It says, Thus saith the Lord, Yahweh my God, feed the flock of the slaughter, whose possessors slay them and hold themselves not guilty. You see that? And they that sell them say, Blessed be the Lord. For I am rich, and their own shepherds pity them not. You see? And that's how it's going. That's it. So the Lord is he see what's going on down here, man. All these exactly line up with what all these scriptures line up with what's going on now. So who fits that? The so-called white man. You get shot in the street being a so-called Hispanic, Negro, Native American Indian, right? Because they just bunch all you up together. Can confuse you for being so-called being each other because you the same people, but they kill one of you. They done nothing wrong. They get off. Eric Garner, Corinne Gaines, Tamir Rice. I believe his name was it Philando Castile, Breonna Taylor, the recent one. Man, we can keep going, man. It's too many names. Goddamn, Trayvon Martin. Michael Brown, all acquitted. But the devil is a person that's an accuser, a slanderer. Accuser is somebody that claims somebody has committed an offense, man, or done something wrong, and they haven't. How you gonna make somebody an offender for a word? That's why this is written right here. That's why I say, let me get that real quick. This is Isaiah 5:20. Just to line up with that, then we're gonna keep going to the point. Woe unto them that call evil good and good evil, that put darkness for light and light for darkness, that put bitter for sweet and sweet for bitter. You see that? Woe means destruction. So the Lord is not he see all of this, man. You know? All right, now let's go back. And I got one more scripture to get on that too. This is Isaiah 10:1. To prove that this is talking about the so-called white man, man. So the so-called white man is fitting being a devil right now. He fits being the accuser. And we're going to go into slander in just a second. It says, by the Spirit, Lord willing, it says, Isaiah 10:1. Woe unto them that decree, that means declare something. Shalom, brother. That means declare something official. for the edification real quick. Kakwak. See, inscribe, engrave, govern. Like, this is it. This solid. This is what it is. In order for you to eat at a restaurant, you must have a mask. That's a decree. See, a lawgiver. All right, so woe unto them that decree unrighteous decrees, that write grievousness which they have prescribed. What is grievousness? They out here stressing people out with this crap. You put out that the dang coronavirus is not even airborne, but yet you still have to wear a mask. You see? Toil, trouble, misery, wearisome, wickedness. I can't eat unless I get the RFID chip. I can't buy or sell unless I get the RFID chip. You see? You can't do this unless you have this. That's the so-called white man, man. Because this is his society. This is his world, man. Let's keep going, though. This is Isaiah 10 and 2. To turn aside the needy from judgment, and to take away the right from the poor of my people. Who is the Lord's people? It's the Israelites, you so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native American Indians. But the devil, because devil also means deceiver. He got you believing that this Bible about everybody, and it's not. This is Psalms 78 and verse 71. From following the ewes great with young, he brought him to feed Jacob his people. You see? And Israel his inheritance. The Lord's people is the Israelites, man. You see? And that's all throughout the scriptures. But the devil, he got people not knowing that because he's the devil, because it also means deceiver, which we'll get into, Lord willing. It says, so to turn aside the needy from judgment and to take away the right as being a so-called lawful abiding citizen, but you just niggas to them, man. You so-called Hispanics, blacks, Negroes, whatever you want to call yourselves, African Americans, and you Native American Indians, man. And you're the poor. It says that widows may be their prey, single mothers, and that they may rob the fatherless. Who does that sound like? And you see it's an exclamation point on that? You got to pay this crazy bond because they done locked you up on making you an offender for a word. What was the brother name? That was it was in Cali. His name was he had dreads. What's his name? Lord willing, I can get it. Man, I gotta get that. I think his name was what was his brother name, man? Lord, please give me his brother name. Let me see. Man, but he got arrested on spot exactly for what the scriptures talk about, man. For being made an offender for a world. He's like, man, I didn't even. And then he had to let him off because the jails actually closed because this was during the pandemic. I forget what that brother name is. Lord willing, that name comes to me, man. You see? Then now say if it wasn't going on, the usual Jake would have got locked up and he has to pay a crazy bond. And he don't have a father. See, that's robbing the fatherless, man. You could easily see it in so many different situations, man. But this fit our people, so-called Negroes, Hispanics, and Native American Indians. All right, but anyway, let's go ahead and go back. Let's keep this moving forward and close out. So the Latin word, which is from the ecclesiastical Greek diabolos, it says, which in Jewish and Christian use was the devil, Satan. So when you say devil or Satan, you're actually saying diabolos, which is where devil and Satan stems from, which means, it says, which in general use meant accuser, slanderer. So now that we went over accuser, hey, you can't be doing, he did that. Oh, you hit me. Oh, you did this. And you see who we have here, slanderer, one who attacks the reputation of another by slander, backbiter, defamer, libeler, maligner, traducer, vilifier. See, they vilify us, man. Let's get something real quick. Make a man an offender for a word, right? Because this is going to be a lesson too. Jersey, that defamation or defaming, right? Jersey City Hebrew, something like that. They tried to put this out. You see, why are black Hebrew Israelites the group Jersey City shooters were linked to? You see? See that? Suspect in Jersey City linked to black Hebrew Israel. One, we're not black. You see? So this was the so-called, and look, who owns all these different outlets, media outlets? So-called white man, the New York Times, fake Jew. NBC New York, fake Jew. US Today, fake Jew. ABC, fake Jew. See, what we know about the fringe movement, black Hebrew Israelites. And by the Spirit, I was telling brothers, you want to watch them fringes, man. Because it's already set. The Lord already put us on game on what's going to happen at the end of the movie, man. This is a movie you were part of, man. The damn white man, and damn is in the Bible, man. The damn white man is the devil. He's the accuser. This is crap right here, man. And we could think about a bunch of actual innocent, because we don't, but the whole point is they stage things, man. They stage things and set things up because they want to actually get us, because we teaching this truth and people actually learning this Bible, man. And the Israelites is waking up. The Israelites is supposed to be on top. It's supposed to be their world, you see? But instead, one who disparages or belittles the worth of the Hebrew Israelites is above all people, but everybody hates. Most people hate black people. So what do? When the Hebrew Israelites awake, you just throw black in front of it. You see that? Deuteronomy 7:6. For thou art an holy people unto the Lord Yahweh thy God. The Lord Yahweh thy God, or power, have chosen thee to be a special people unto himself, above all people that are upon the face of the earth. So when you go back into that word slanderer, it says one who disparages or belittles the worth of something. Well, in the Lord said, we're above all people and we're special unto him, man. This is talking about the Israelites. Deuteronomy 1:1 tells you that. You see, these be the words which Moses spake unto all Israel. Everything in this book. You see, the Lord has us as a special people in his heart, man. In his mind, he said, for thou art an holy people unto the Lord thy God, and the Lord have chosen thee to be a peculiar people unto himself, above all nations that are upon the face, that are upon the earth. You know what I'm saying? Let's see. The Lord he loves you Israelites, man. He loves you, you know. Let me see. But the so-called white man, he knows that. Salakia. Micah 3:1. It says, and I said, I pray you, O heads of Jacob, and ye princes of the house. Salakia, that's not it. It's 1. Micah 1:1. Oh, slap. Let's see. Okay, here it is. Malachi 1:1. The burden of the word of the Lord Yahweh to Israel, by Malachi, who is an Israelite. I have loved you, saith the Lord. Yet ye see wherein Yet ye say, wherein hast thou loved us? You see, because the so-called white man, he has, in your own mind, he has disparaged you or belittled you, and what did he disparage and belittle? Your worth. He made you think he made you think the angels and God look like him, because that's the next part of this, how he's the deceiver. But anyway, he said, wherein hast thou loved us? I don't see that on TV. I don't see that everybody hate us. It says, was not Esau? Who is Esau? Jacob's brother, saith the Lord. Yet I loved Jacob, and I hated Esau, and laid his mountains and his heritage waste for the dragons of the wilderness. You see, the Lord forever hates the Edomites, man. He hates the brother of Esau, man. I mean the brother of Jacob, because it says in verse 4, whereas Edom said, we are impoverished, but we will return and build the desolate places. Thus saith the Lord of hosts, they shall build, but I will throw down, and they shall call them the border of wickedness. You see? And the people against whom the Lord have indignation against forever. So the so-called, because the so-called white people are the Edomites. And the Lord said they're going to be called the border of wickedness, man. That's why we call them the devil. See? Wrong, man. Look, fraud, falsehood, something done wickedly. That's what it means when you're wicked. Fraud and falsehood, man. Now, when you go back into that word, accuser, what does it say? It say someone who claims someone has committed an offense, man. But they lying. Remember, we talking about the word devil. This is what the word devil means. Accuser, a slanderer. And this is why now we're gonna go ahead and go into it. This is why the Lord hates Esau. Okay? This is Isaiah 50 Psalms 50 and 20. Because we're on slanderer, right? Watch this. I didn't even go to it. Psalms 50 and 20. It says, man, it say right here, I'm going to start at 19. Thou givest thy mouth to evil, and thy tongue frameth deceit. You see that? Frame it. What did we go to? We went to Isaiah 10 and 1. Matter of fact, nah. This is not even the one I want, but woe to them that decree unrighteous decrees. Mischief by law. Let me see. We're going to go back to what we just got. Just give me 1 second. Because this is how the Spirit works. This is how you explain with the Lord. Yep, that's it. That's it. This is Psalms 94. And, let's start at 20. Yeah, that's it. The shall the throne of iniquity have fellowship with thee? Because there's a lot of people trying to figure out, like, these wicked people, the devil is running around. He just roaming around. He's winning because it's his world. It's a time for everything, man. You see? But that's a whole nother thing. It say so let me see something real quick. It's all good. It say verse 20, shall the throne of iniquity have fellowship with thee, which frameth mischief by a law? You see? Which frameth mischief by a law. So in order for them to do something wicked to you, they'll just be like, you know what? We're just going to make it a law. You see, verse 5, it says, they break in pieces thy people, O Lord, and afflict thine heritage. Because they slayed the widow and the stranger and murdered the fatherless, man. Yet they say, because this is what I really wanted right here. This is it. Yet they say, the Lord shall not see it, neither shall the God of Jacob regard it. So the God, they know we the Israelites, man. That's why they keep killing us, man. But they put out on TV, we these wicked people, and they kill us. They go find the worst picture you can get, and they go get somebody that has no clue of what it is they're talking about. So they're the devil, man. They frame it mischief by a law. You see? But let's go back to that Psalms 50 and because I don't want to be jumping all over the place. Lord willing, this is making sense, and you can see it. This is verse 19. It say, "Thy tongue frameth deceit." Let's get that word for deceit real quick, just to see if everything's lining up. Because wickedness lines up with being a devil. See, deceit, treachery, craft. You see that? False. They're going to have false again. It's the same thing. Riches gained by fraud. So the so-called white man, the devil, man. It say Psalms 50 and 20. Thou sittest. What word are we on? Breaking down, because this devil means what again? Accuser and slanderer. We're breaking down slanderer right now, and it's in the scriptures. Psalms 50 and 20. Thou sittest and speakest against the same person that framed deceit, man. That writeth mischief, frameth mischief by a law. Thou sittest and speakest against thy brother. Thou slanderest thine own mother's son. That's talking about Esau and Jacob, because that's the main dynamic throughout the whole Bible, even in the New Testament. This is Romans 9 and 11. Okay, let's see. Let's just jump to the point. 13. Matter of fact, because it say thy own mother's son, right? This is 9 and 9. For this word of promise, at this time will I come, and Sarah shall have a son. And not only this, but when Rebekah also conceived by one. So it's talking about Rebekah. That's the woman, the mother, in that Psalms 50 and 20. Rebekah also had conceived by one, even by our father Isaac. For the children being not yet born neither have done any good or evil, that the purpose of God according to election might stand, not of works, but of him that called it. So the Lord made them who he wanted them to be and what they were going to receive, what he wanted each one of them to receive. It was said unto her, the elders shall serve the younger. He already knew who was coming out first. Esau came out first. As it is written, Jacob have I loved, but Esau have I hated. You see? The Lord know why he made Esau come out first. And he already knew he hated him. Because if you can receive it, reincarnation is in the Bible, man. So he was somebody the Lord had a bone with, Esau. And I'm going to just keep it simple at that. You know? But anywho, yeah, man. So these so-called white people, the damn devil. Trump, all these people. Trump done, there's so many examples I want to go into. Salakia, bear with me 1 second. Just to show you. Because the main part we're going to get now, we're going to go into this deceiver part, and we're going to close this out. You know? It's all throughout the scriptures. Because Esau went on to be these people. That's the damn devil today, you know? Look, deceit. Esau, he told everybody he a white man. See that? And that's why God hates him. Now, let's see. Okay. So that's enough on that. See, a word used for exclamations of confusion. That's the devil does, man. Chief spirit of evil and adversary of God. The tempter of mankind. You know, which deals with deceit. Okay, and I'm trying to let you see that, but you already done seen it. You see, because it says mischief, wickedness, all that stuff goes back to fraud. Accuser is somebody that's lying, and it said that's what Esau does. Now, that's a good point because how do we know that the so-called white man is Esau? Well, real quick, and this is simple. Genesis 25, and we're going to start at 21. And Isaac entreated the Lord Yahweh for his wife because she was barren, and the Lord Yahweh was entreated of him. And Rebekah his wife conceived, and the children struggled together within her. And she said, if it be so, why am I thus? And she went to inquire of the Lord. Now what you're seeing right here is the inception of the so-called black race and white race. It says, and the Lord said unto her, two nations are in thy womb, and two manner of people shall be separated. But why can't we all just get along? Shall be separated from thy bowels, and the one people shall be stronger than the other people, and the elder shall serve the younger. See how the Bible stays a complete symphony? You see, people just lie. But anyway, man lies, as the scriptures say. That's why we just go to the scriptures, because the heart is deceitfully wicked, man. You know, but anyway, and when her days to be delivered were fulfilled, right? She hit her due date, right? Behold, there were twins in her womb. See? And the first, this is how we know so-called white man is Esau. And the first came out red all over. You see? Like an hairy garment. Now he wasn't, it say hairy garment is because during the ancient time, people used to dye badger skins red, which the scriptures tell you. So it's literally just telling you Esau's main thing. He was red, and he had certain characteristics about him, which are going to tell you. But that's the main reason why we know the so-called white man is the devil, if you can see in the thumbnail, because Esau does all the devilish, has all the devilish acts. He's cunning, which it tells you right here. And they call his name Esau. So the first came out red, and the first came out red all over like a hairy garment, and they call his name Esau. And after that came his brother out and took hold on Esau's heel, and his name was called Jacob. Jacob wasn't mentioned how he came out because he came out regular. You see, he was just holding Esau's heel as far as how he looked. It wasn't mentioned. It says, and Isaac was 60 years old. He was 60 because a score is 20. So 20 times 3. It says, when she bare them, and the boys grew. You see? And Esau was a cunning hunter. That's that word right there, cunning. We're going to go to that. A man of the field. What do they like doing? They like hunting, so-called white people. They got all these traits, man. And you see? And Jacob was a plain man dwelling in the tents. Jacob liked to chill. He was simple. Chill in the crib, not do too much. You know what I'm saying? He was laid back. That's our people, so-called Hispanics, Negroes, and so-called Native American Indians. And then when you look up that word plain, it actually means perfect. But let's go into that word Esau as far as cunning. Esau being cunning. What does cunning mean? Because we talking about the so-called white man is the devil, right? Look, to know how, be skillful in. You see? Let's keep going. You know what? This is what we got to do. Because they know when people look at this now, it's going to be too obvious. So let's do this then. The dang devil. Let's do this. Cunning. Watch this. They want you to think Esau was, and those things true, but it's you can't even go to this one. It's ridiculous. And we went over this, tons and times. So now watch this. Salakia. Cunning. What that say? You see that? Having or showing skill in achieving one's ends by deceit. See that? That's what it means to be cunning. And these are all of the synonyms. Deceitful, deceptive. See? It means to deceive, man. Deceptive means what? Giving an appearance or impression different from the true one. See? Accuser, slander, misleading. The so-called white man's the devil. You see? Deceitful, guilty of or involving deceit, deceiving or misleading others. You see that? He got you think you was black and you brown as hell. You see that? Well, you brown as a squirrel. You know? You talking about you black? Oh man, yep. This so-called white man. This, and they hate this. They hate this, man. So it's funny when you go look up the etymology, Salakia. When you go look up the meaning in the Hebrew, they don't say nothing regarding deceit. It just shows how skillful and crafty he is. But what's the synonyms to that word? Those words, man. See that? So, with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and show you an example of how the devil gets down in the Bible. This is Matthew 4 and 4. And it reads, it says, but I'm going to start at 1. Then Yahushua was led up of the spirit into, and that's not deception, that's just the true name. Because when you look in the 1611, there's no J in this Bible. This is new. They newly put the J in. The letter J was just created in the 1700s. Anyway, you probably know that. Matthew 4 and 1. It says, then Yahushua was led up of the spirit into the wilderness to be tempted of the devil. You see? And when he had fasted 40 days and 40 nights, he was afterward and hungered. Now we're gonna show you the example of how the devil operates. And when the tempter came to him, he said, if thou be the Son of God, command that these stones be made bread. See, the devil deals with deceiving you. You see, but hold on, let's keep going. But he answered and said, it is written, man shall not live by bread alone, but by every word that proceedeth out of the mouth of the Heavenly Father. Then the devil taketh him up. You see? You're like, okay, I ain't get you there. Okay. Then the devil taketh him up into the holy city, and setteth him on a pinnacle of the temple, and saith unto him, if thou be the Son of God, cast thyself down, for it is written, he shall give angels charge concerning thee, and in their hands they shall bear thee up, lest at any time thou shalt dash thy foot against the stones. And that's talking about Psalms. He quoted Psalms, what we know today is Psalms 91, right, to him. Yahushua said unto him, it is written again, thou shalt not tempt the Lord thy God. Now, this is the main point, how you know. Again, the devil taketh him up into an exceeding high mountain and sheweth him all the kingdoms of the world and the glory of them, and saith unto him, all these things will I give thee if thou wilt fall down and worship me. You see that? He tried to deceive him, make him forget his whole objective and who he was. Why would he do that and he the Son of God? That makes no sense, because the devil is a deceiver, man. It says, then saith Yahushua unto him, get thee hence, Satan, for it is written, thou shalt worship the Lord thy God, and him only shalt thou serve. You see? I'm the Son of God. What are you talking about, man? Then the devil leaveth him, and behold, angels came and ministered unto him. So that's that, man. Now, real quick, just to show you this is all true, according to the word of the Lord, as far as what devil means, man. Look, what's that word? Diabolos. You see? Diabolos. Slander. You see that? Accusing falsely. Accumulator. You see? A man, it say applied to a man who, by opposing the cause of the Heavenly Father, may be said to act the part of the devil or to side with him. So the so-called white man opposes the cause of God. He don't want the Israelites to be the Israelites no more. He don't want the Lord to have a chosen people. You see? He don't want people to follow him. That's what the devil does, man. But let's get this. It says diabolos, just like it's told us on the etymology. Devil just simply comes from the word diabolos, which means accuser or slanderer. What does this say right here? You see? Slanderous, accusing falsely. That's what a devil is, man. You know, but you see in their actions, they're deceivers. You see? And we can cut that real quick. Watch this. Because it don't necessarily say that, but watch this. We seen that was what the action was. But when you go to First Corinthians 14 and 33, it say, for God is not the author of confusion. You see? But of peace, as in all the churches of the saints. So the so-called white man, that's what he deals with: confusion and deception. Deception is confusion, man. It's only to confuse you. You know, you gotta ask a so-called you gotta ask an Israelite, is your skin black, brother? He gotta look at it. Like, are you serious? Like, you graduated, bro. Come on. But who did that to him? The damn white man, man. The so-called white man. Now, real quick, it say, prone to slander, devil, prone to slander, accusing falsely. All right. This is Revelation. Look, end all be all, 12 and 10. It says, and I heard a loud voice saying in heaven, now is come salvation and strength and the kingdom of our God and the power of his Hamashiach, or the power of his Christ, or Hamashiach. It says, for the accuser of our brethren is cast down, which accused them before God day and night. You see that? You see? You can't make this up, man. You cannot make this up, man. You go back to that Psalms 50 and 20. How I say Esau get down? Who is this talking about again? How we know? And then, okay, 20, it say, thou get 19, thou givest thy mouth to evil, and thy tongue frameth deceit. Thy language, they laws, you see, lies, they dogma. It says, thou sittest and speakest against thy brother. Thou slanderest thine own mother's son. That's why that's written in Romans 9. You see? So it's talking about Esau and Jacob. And how the heck do we know the so-called white man is 100% Esau, besides him just being a man of the field? And okay, well, when you look up that red, look, Esau came out red. Genesis 36, and he gave birth to a nation. 30, this is Genesis 36 and 8. It says, thus dwelt, you know what, let me start at 1. It says, now these are the generations of Esau, who is Edom, right? What does Edom mean? Red. Another word, so in the nation of Edom is also known as the nation of Idumea. That are Idumeans, and they're the Edomites. So to say, call somebody Edomite, they're red, man. Because they come from Esau, who came out red. So these are the generations of Esau, who is Edom. And how does God feel about Esau? You see? Thus dwelt Esau in Mount Seir. Esau is Edom. Now these are the generations of Esau, the father of the Edomites in Mount Seir. And that's that, man. Now when you look at these so-called white people, what color are they, man? You know? But he told you he was white. Deceived you. Look. What that say? Redneck is a derogatory term chiefly, well, not according to God, because Esau came out red all over, so his neck included. It says, but not exclusively applied to white Americans perceived to be crass. No, it's just because y'all, okay, that's true, but y'all red, man. Let's go look at some rednecks. See that? Look at this guy. That's Esau, but he told you, his elites told you he was they were white. They said they were white. So the so-called white man, the devil, man, it's really simple. It's not complicated. That's just what it means. It just means to deceive and etc., man. I had a few other scriptures lined up, and the Lord said, by their fruit you shall know them. You know? Let's see. I had let me see. 2 Thessalonians. I started 3. It said, let no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come except there be a falling away first, and that the man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition. You finding out who's the so-called white man. They talking about Trump got coronavirus, but the coronavirus was just released by the more people of his own nation, the CDC, who run it, so-called white people, who are the Edomites, because they all red. All of them. All of them. They said that the coronavirus is airborne, man. And they took it off the site. Who opposed and exalted himself above all that is called God, or that is worship, so that he as God, or as the Most High, sitteth in the temple of God, showing himself that he is God. You see? And ye know that what withhold it that he might be revealed in his time. You see? For the mystery of iniquity doth already work. Only he who now let it will let. You see, until he be taken out of the way. So the so-called white man is being allowed through the power of Satan, who works for the Most High, to fool everybody until his time is over with, man. You see, and when shall that wicked be revealed, whom the Lord, talking about Yahweh, shall consume with the spirit of his mouth, and shall destroy with the brightness of his coming, even him whose coming is after the working of Satan, with all power and signs and lying wonders, and with all deceivableness, you see that, of unrighteousness in them that perish, because they received not, and with all deceivableness of unrighteousness in them that perish, because they received not the love of the truth, that they might be saved. You see? And for this cause God shall send them strong delusion, that they should believe a lie, that they all might be damned who believe not the truth. Because the so-called white man has put lies here, man. He told you he's Jesus. You see, he told you, even though that's a made-up name, he's the Messiah, he's God. He thought the Lord was just like him, but had pleasure in unrighteousness. So since I say that, let me jump back to this. I got one more scripture, I think, by the Spirit, and I'm going to close out. This is Psalms 50 and 19. I'm going to read through. Listen to this. Thou givest thy mouth to evil. Because it said that word diablos is applied to a man who opposes himself against God. You see, thou givest thy mouth to evil, and thy tongue frameth deceit. Thou sittest and speakest against thy brother. Thou slanderest thy own mother's son. These things hast thou done, and I kept silence. Thou thoughtest that I was altogether such an one as thyself. You see, to where he painting the Lord looking like him. It says, but I will reprove thee and set them in order before their eyes. And who is he talking about? Who's the dumb? It's talking about you so-called Hispanics, Negroes, and Native American Indians. Now consider this, ye that forget the Most High, God, the Most High, lest I tear you in pieces, and there be none to deliver. You see? Whoso offereth praise, glorifieth me. And to him that ordereth his conversation aright will I shew the salvation of God. You see? And that's that the so-called white man is in fact, in truth, and according to the Bible, and according to the damn white man's own, so-called white man's own goddamn scholarship and scholastic knowledge, he's the devil, man. That's ordering your conversation right. The so-called white man is the devil. The so-called white man is the devil. The so-called white man is the devil. It's that simple. You know? Now, it was something that had caught my eye on this real quick, which is the next scripture I was talking about I was going to get. Let me see. See, let no man deceive you. You see that? And who opposes himself above all is called God. You see, and the wicked shall be revealed. Yeah, he said you thought you was all together, one is thyself. Well, here, look at this. This is 2 Corinthians. So-called God is not no white man, man. Neither is his son, neither is his people. You know? The Israelites look like a little bit of everything now for our own wickedness, you know, and you know, we always was a speckled bird, different shades of brown. Look, indignation. Exactly, brother. You know. Brother edifying on the comment board, man. Okay, let's see. Yep. It say, for such, this 2 Corinthians 11 and 13, for such are false apostles, deceitful workers, transforming themselves into the apostles of Hamashiach. And no marvel, for Satan himself is transformed into an angel of light. Therefore, it is no great thing if his ministers also be transformed as the ministers of righteousness, whose end shall be according to those works. Now, what I have right here for you is something he tried to stop from coming out. Why didn't you know all the Israelites were so-called black? You see? Last Supper. Why didn't you know this? You know who that is? Let you take a wild guess. You know what? I'll just tell you. That's Yahushua. That's the good shepherd. See that? Matter of fact, they're gonna probably cut this. Let's see. See that? Who that look like? Why do you know that? Because the devil, the so-called white man. Why do you know this was our people? See? So-called Hispanics. You know? Why didn't you know this? So-called Negroes. So-called Native American Indians. I don't see no Edomites on here, no so-called white people, because this is how they used to look. This is called iconoclastic. All these images were iconoclastic. That's how I said the angel, they changed themselves. No, we ain't gonna go into that. That's gonna be, we're gonna go in that probably together. Let's see. You see, the angels themselves, the ministers of Satan, man. They got you thinking that the apostles were so-called white man, goddamn passion of Christ. That's off, man. That's these brown people, man. That's not no Edomite. Look at that foot. See that? Let's keep going though. Look at that. Why you ain't know this? You know who that is? That's King David. Well, that might be Solomon. Salakia. I'm gonna do a lesson on these though. Get everything right. See that? They don't look like God white to me. He said, "You thought I was all together as one as thyself." Who is that? Who is these people? See that? Who is that sitting on the throne? Who is that talking to this naked brother, man? Looking like he in a garden. Who is these people, man? Tell us, so-called white man. Who that look like? Like so-called Latinos, man. Hispanics. Look at that. Look at that. They be like, see, look at the hand. Nah, man. That's brown. See that? Image has been whitewashed. I ain't trying to, throw no dirt in this, but look at his fingers. He throwing up something. See that? To the left. No, ain't gonna be no folly though. Look at that. But yeah, man, we keep going all day. This is our people. You're the Israelites, man. You've been deceived by the devil, the so-called white man. You can keep going, man. You can keep going. Look at the grapes. Lose everybody. The knights. You see that? That's why they called us the knights. What you think the dark ages stood for? Now, who is that? That's God. That's a depiction of God. See that? That's the Most High, man. It's all this is in their own churches in Europe, because they couldn't iconoclast everything. Look at that. You can't make this up, man. They tell you, come on, man. Okay, we're gonna cut one more thing and we're gonna close this up. Alright. This is Revelation 1, and we're gonna start straight to it, man. This is 14. Matter of fact, and in the midst at 13, and in the midst of the 7 candlesticks, one like unto the Son of God, exactly. One like unto the Son of Man, clothed with a garment down to the foot, and girt about the paps with a golden girdle. See? So this is how the Messiah was dressed. It says his head and his hairs were white like wool. So his hair was white and woolly, man. Going into his beard, his eyebrows, this is what he's seeing. All white. It's white as snow. And his eyes were as a flame of fire, and his feet like unto fine brass. What color is brass? Did a lesson on it. It's brown, like copper. But how? So it was dark. But let's see how dark. As if they burned in the furnace. That's what his feet look like. And his voice as the sound of many waters. Now, and there's more on how the Messiah looked. Because he wanted that to be known. Because he said it out his own mouth. Look. Let's see. Yep. This is verse 2. Who bear record. This is the revelation of Yahushua HaMashiach. That word revelation means to reveal. See, to reveal what? The truth. Who bear record of the word of God. Who's the word of God? Yahushua, who people call Jesus. And of the testimony of Yahushua HaMashiach. You see? And of all the things that he saw. Now, blessed is he that read it, and they that hear the words of this prophecy, because it's all truth, and keep those things which are written therein. You see? And that's perfect right there, the brother laid out. The first Maccabees, the 3 and 48. It says, which are written therein, for the time is at hand. The time of what? For the devil to be laid down, man. And this is what he says. He said out his own mouth. Verse 10, I was in the spirit on the Lord's day, and heard behind me a great voice as of a trumpet, very loud, saying, I am Alpha and Omega, the first and the last. What thou seest, write in the book. You see, what thou seest, write in the book. You see, write about it. You see, like the elder said, the people, why are Christians clueless? Because they've been lied to by a so-called white man, the devil. Write in a book and send it unto the 7 churches. And he didn't draw pictures. He just wrote what he saw. Wrote about what he saw. A man with white woolly hair, red eyes, and dark, super dark feet. Just dark as hell. But what does Esau tell you? What the so-called white man do? This is what he does. This is what the devil do. Because devil ultimately means deceiver. But we went into it on the Lord allows us to go into it on a much deeper level. So let's see. Watch this. Let's just put the word God. Let's see what comes up. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Look at this. Was God a stoner? You see? That's why the so-called white man the devil. Why God is not a feet. Just bugging confusion. Because that's what the devil does. You see, picturing God as a white man. See, these people know, man. I ain't never seen this one. This is a clever one. They try to make his hair look woolly. So that white people got woolly hair. It's crazy, man. Look, now he bald head. So, look, the Most High. Look. The Most High got a what they call it, a horseshoe on his head. He got the cul-de-sac. Come on, man. You know, if the Lord did, he did, but he damn sure don't look like this. He ain't no damn Edomite, man. The Lord ain't red, man. Neither is his angels or his son. It ain't no little white naked baby sitting around. Edomite babies. Look, so the God of Edomite. That's a lesson. God is not an Edomite, man. You know what I'm saying? Now let's go to one thing to cut, since we just learned something real quick. Even though most probably know this, but just is always good to go back over it. And I'm gonna close out on this, I believe. See? It said he had hair like wool. Let's do something real quick. Revelation 1 and 11. So it says, you know what? We got to do it like this, Salaki. Revelation 11 and 1, saying, I am Alpha and Omega, the first and last. What thou seest, right in the book, and send it unto the seven churches which are in Asia, because there's a bunch of lies going on. It still is. Unto Ephesus, and unto Smyrna, and unto Pergamos, and unto Thyatira, and unto Sardis, and unto Philadelphia, and unto Laodicea. And he said, and I turned to see the voice that spake with me, and being turned, I saw 7 golden candlesticks. He seen the menorah, and in the midst one of the 7 candlesticks, one like unto the Son of Man. He seen one that looked like a man, clothed with a garment down to the foot, and about in the girts, and girt about the paps with a golden girdle. His head and his hairs were white like wool. He struck out on that one. You see, his head and his hair were white like wool. So who is this? It say as white as snow, and his eyes were as a flame of fire. You see? And you know who this is? The devil. This is the so-called white man. This is Esau. Lying there, but that's why he hated. And his feet like unto fine brass, as if they burned in a furnace. You put anything in a furnace, man, you already know what color it's gonna turn. You leave your toast in that toaster too long, what color is it gonna turn? The same color they try to say we are. You know what I'm saying? Come on, man. To this day, just lying to everybody. The dang devil, man. So yeah, that's it, man. And we're gonna double down on this. There's no such thing as a white person, man. Is that a white man? His shirt white. They're like a red band to me. See that? Edom is red. He done messed his skins up so bad. Let's do this. And you know another thing too? What color do they always paint the devil? You know what I'm saying? Red. Does that look like a white person to you? Nope. Nope. Not at all. Alright? So that's it on that, man. Look, what color they always paint the devil? Most High know that. So he's like, all right, I'll make Esau red then. Because they're going to paint the devil always red. See that? Look. How you going to be a red white person? What's white about these people, man? These are the Edomites. All right? So you're going to see, man, you know. So Lord willing, this has been edifying. I think that's pretty much it on this. Make sure I cut everything. It's another one in Isaiah that tell you that the so-called white man, he want to be just like the Most High, man. This is Isaiah. Let's see. 12. Isaiah 14:12. How art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, son of the morning? How art thou cut down to the ground, which did weaken the nation? How? By lying to everybody. For thou hast said in thine heart, I will ascend into heaven, and I will exalt my throne above the stars of God. That's the space force that the so-called white man got. He the devil. He's Satan. He's Lucifer. He's all these people. They work through him. The spiritual demon Satan works through the so-called white man. And so it makes him the devil. It gives him the power of being the devil. He is the devil, because devil just means accuser, slanderer, and deceitfulness, man. Mischief. For thou hast said in thy heart, I will send into heaven. I will exalt my throne above the stars of God. I will also sit upon the throne of the mount of the congregation in the sides of the north. So yeah, man, that's pretty much it. You can read this on your own. And I believe that's it. And we'll close out on this. This is Revelation. What was that, 17? No, let's get 18. Oh no, let's get Revelation. Let's close out with this. 12 and 7. So you're gonna fly to the stars of heaven, man. Because when the angels come back, where do you think they coming from? The sky. So-called white man gonna fight with them. Because the Lord said, you thought I was all together one as yourself. He knows this Bible, man. And they gonna lose. And there was war in heaven. That word heaven means sky. You know, if you could receive it, it's for those who can. See, Arnos. You see, the aerial heavens or sky. See, the vault expanse of the sky with all things visible in it. All right. And close out in just a second. It says, and there was war in heaven. So in the sky, you know, Michael and his angels fought against the dragon. And the dragon fought and his angels. Angel means messenger. So the devil, so-called white man, with all his those that are enlisted in the army, you know, the Air Force, if you will, the Space Force, and prevailed not, because they're going to lose ultimately. It's foretelling all of this. Neither was their place found anymore in heaven. The little satellites they got set up, the Space Force troop they got set up, NASA, all that's going to be done. They won't have any more freedom to go up there. It says, and the great dragon was cast out, that old serpent called the devil and Satan, which deceived the whole world. He was cast out into the earth, and his angels were cast out with him. That's what I wanted. He deceived the whole world. Why? Job 9 and 24. It says, the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. So the so-called, who runs the earth? So-called white man. He covered the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he? You see? And I got one last scripture. And we know who the judges, the true judges, the Israelites. Israel, they tell everybody lost tribes, they was done away with. He lied about who Yahushua is. He is so-called white man, Edomite. It's James 2 and 2. I'm gonna start at 3. And ye have respect to him that weareth gay clothing. So, happy, nice clothing. Because it tell you in verse 2, for if there come unto your assembly a man with a gold ring and goodly apparel, and there come in also a poor man in vile raiment, beat up, Book of Eli style. And ye have respect to him that weareth the gay clothing, and say unto him, because it's old English, sit thou here in a good place, and say to the poor, stand thou there. You see? Like stay away from me, man. But you come on, man. You gotta, all right, yeah, man. That's the BMW. Okay, cool. That's the new Ferrari. Okay, cool. Or sit here under my footstool. It says, are ye not then partial in yourselves, and are become judges of evil thoughts? But this the point, verse 5. Hearken, my beloved brethren, have not God chosen the poor of this world, rich in faith and heirs of the kingdom, which he had promised to them that love him? You see, that's the men that teach this truth. But Slaki, the point is in 6. But ye have despised the poor. Do not rich men oppress you? Do not rich men oppress you and draw you before the judgment seat? You see, so rich men oppress you. And what did it tell you in Job? Job 9 and 24. It says, the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. You see? He covered the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he? Do not rich men oppress you? Who the rich man? You see? That's who run the earth, and that's who the wicked. So the so-called white man, the devil. Lord willing, has been edifying. We give all the praise and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushua, Wahakadash Shalom.